Thank you, Andrew. Welcome of those to you here tonight in person and also to those watching via the webcast and participating via Twitter. It would be fair to say the South Australian Cricket Association has dealt with unprecedented events during the past 12 months, but has done so with the unwavering support of our SACA members and the wider cricket community. On the 27th of November 2014, our world changed forever. We lost one of our own. Philip Hughes was a much-loved son, brother, teammate and friend. Philip joined us from New South Wales in 2012 and in his short time with South Australia became a favourite son. He leaves a legacy that will no doubt live on at Adelaide Oval. The tragic loss of Philip Hughes was felt around the world and a significant and massive impact on all of us. We will continue to honour the memory of our teammate and friend, both on and off the field. During this time, the cricket family came together and mourned as one. The love and support was simply unprecedented. And two individuals that I would like to recognise are Roger Johnson, our SACA chaplain, and Matthew McGregor, the player development manager. Both men showed incredible strength and support to all players and staff last November, and their role in helping guide us through a difficult and emotional time was just simply amazing. I also want to say how proud the entire association is of the West End Redbacks players' efforts given those circumstances. The leadership shown by a young captain in Travis Head, both on and off the field, was exemplary in the second half of the season. Out of the post-season review, our elite teams and high-performance department, we have continued to invest in our future. During the winter, there have been some significant changes in our high-performance structure and personnel. In May, we announced that Jamie Siddons would become our new West End Redbacks coach. In Jamie, I believe we have an outstanding leader who will help shape and lead our young group, instil into our cricket system elite standards and a culture of success. He is a coach with international coaching experience, first serving as an Australian assistant under John Buchanan and then as head coach of Bangladesh until 2011. In his most recent role with the Wellington Firebirds, he has led them to both the domestic 50 over and T20 titles. Perhaps most fitting, and a touch of irony, Jamie captained our last Sheffield Shield winning team now 20 years ago. Another significant addition to our high performance department has been Stephen Schwert. Stephen has taken over the physical performance program and has already had a big impact on the strength and fitness of our young squad. The development of elite training habits in our young squad is critical for long-term success. And Stephen's record speaks for itself, working with some of Australia's best athletes and administrators during 16 years in the AFL system. But perhaps the success story of last summer, however, was our women's team, the Breeze Air SA Scorpions. I was lucky enough to be in Sydney with the Scorpions when they took on New South Wales in their first WNCL final in 8 years. While the Scorpions were not able to clinch that ultimate goal, the thrilling semi-final win against Queensland when Sarah Taylor and Megan Shute held their nerve with seven wickets down was just an outstanding effort. I can tell you quite genuinely it was one of the best afternoons cricket that I've ever been involved in. And with some key players returning and new faces, including Australian representative Sarah Coyte, we are confident that we can take that next step with Andrew McCauley again coaching the team this summer. The advent of the Women's Big Bash was a significant announcement and a further endorsement of the growing strength of the women's game. We've spoken publicly about SACA's strategic focus in strengthening women's cricket, and we have every confidence the Scorpions can go that one step further this summer. The Adelaide Strikers provided us with so many memorable moments during December and January, with undoubtedly the most loyal fan base in the Big Bash. The incredible attendance has continued as the Adelaide Strikers burst into town with immediate success for the 4th KFC T20 Big Bash. And I think sometimes a picture paints 1,000 words.
It's just like Woodstock did it. Brand new villain, bob to the music, psychedelic visit. My heart in my lane, both strikes in the blizzard. 10 million in the brain, gotta roll with the vision. Vision of a good time, all I wanna know when the party gon' start, let the good time roll. Come on, let's go. You got a lot of living, keep the body on the road. Ain't nothing like the feeling when you're winning in your soul. The wheel keeps spinning, only got one goal. Don't stop the show, can't stop the flow. The real ain't ready, cause I rock the globe. So act like you know, act like you know, act like you know just what to do when the good time rolls.
Advance a secret will make some good. You got me thinking while I love you so. Come on, baby, let the good times begin.
Rolling songs, everybody came to get the taste of the bone. When it's shine like you gotta find that zone. It's a mind of its own. Love roller coaster, loop around in the zone. Love roller coaster up and down, pretty strong. Just like gold, I'm already sold. Good times roll.
Come on, baby, let the good times roll. Come on, baby, let the good times roll. Come on, baby, let the good times roll. Come on, baby, let the good times roll.
Exciting stuff, isn't it? The New Year's Eve match against the Hobart Hurricanes attracted a record 43,288 fans, the highest attendance at a domestic cricket fixture ever at Adelaide Oval. Everyone who was there on the night will agree it was one of the great sporting events of 2014. What we want is for this event to be a cultural, iconic New Year's Eve event for all South Australians. And then, just 6 days later, over 42,000 fans watched the Strikers take on the Perth Scorchers on a Tuesday night, a ringing endorsement of the Strikers and the Big Bash as an entertainment package. And while the team went down to the Sydney Sixers in the semi-final, seeing 52,633 people pack into Adelaide Oval and setting a number of attendance records that night is something we'll never forget. Back in April, we announced that South Australian and Australian Test great Jason Gillespie would coach the Adelaide Strikers in BBL 05. The appointment of Dizzy was significant for the Strikers, and we were able to secure one of the most highly sought-after coaches in cricket. His record in coaching in Yorkshire is outstanding, and he brings with him an incredible passion for his hometown and a desire to achieve success. Park 25. The Park 25 redevelopment, located in the Western Parklands between the corner of North Terrace and West Terrace, gained media exposure in July 2015, and it shapes as an exciting project for South Australian cricket. SACA has invested resources into this area during the past 18 months, including work on the standard of the pitches and the outfield. Whilst the playing conditions are now at first-class standard, the facilities are not. With a number of country and community carnivals hosted during the summer, the redevelopment will ensure the space can accommodate more teams for the benefit of all who love and play cricket in South Australia. The project will include a new change room building, pavilion, car parking and function centre. The redeveloped centre will have a similar footprint on the parklands to the current setup. The starting point is SACA securing sufficient tenure to justify the investment, and that tenure is currently being negotiated. Online voting. Last year we introduced online voting for the board elections, ensuring that our members are supported to participate and that they're engaged in life at SACA. This is important to us. I hope that these uses of enabling technologies like online voting portals and webcasts demonstrate this commitment from SACA. Pleasingly, more than 1/3 of all voters chose online voting over the traditional paper ballot, and voter participation increased by 1,087 to reach 27.4%, compared to 23% in 2014. What is also significant is this number reflects an increase for the third consecutive year of more than 10%, when voter participation numbers in 2013 were approximately 17%. The President has already mentioned the DayNight Test, but with respect to this year, we are delighted that our members will be able to experience the world-first DayNight Test match when Australia takes on New Zealand from the 27th of November. This match will be a groundbreaking event, a chance for the eyes of the world to be on Adelaide Oval and for South Australia and SACA to lead the way. The challenge has always been to make Test cricket more accessible. The day-night fixture will allow members to come after work and school and enjoy Test cricket well into the evening. While there has been much debate surrounding the pink ball, what is very important to cricket fans around the world is that we respect and preserve the integrity of the balance between the bat and ball. And all indications are from the Shield trial game last year that the pink ball has matured and is technologically advanced now. And we are very confident in the nature and manner in which the game will be played, in that it will reflect a traditional game of Test cricket. The other significant news for SACA members this year was the return to cricket on Australia Day to Adelaide Oval. We've always believed that Australia Day should be here at Adelaide Oval. It's part of our DNA and it's part of our tradition here in South Australia. And I can assure you all here and all our SACA members that we are doing everything in our power to retain this fixture as an annual event. It's an iconic day in our state sporting calendar. So you can see that 2014-15 was a very challenging year. At the start of the year, we set out 11 key strategic objectives, and I thought I'd very briefly cover each of these. Objective 1 was to change the mindsets about female engagement to grow the diversity of cricket's participation and fan base. During the year, we engaged a full-time female coach and achieved female participation increases across a number of areas, including multicultural and Indigenous communities. 2 international female players were recruited, and our benchmarks for workplace diversity is on track. Plans for the female SACA Premier League have also commenced. Our second objective, to deliver a successful international and World Cup season, rated an amber, only because we didn't hit our attendance targets for the Test. We would all appreciate the impact of moving the Test date forward by 3 days with only 9 days' notice. But as the President mentioned earlier, and having said that, our Test attendance of 113,009 was the third largest or the third highest attendance of all Test matches. And on the change of date, can I say what a magnificent job the SACA staff did in achieving this. It was a massive logistical exercise which they did with passion and through great adversity. With respect to the World Cup, over 1 billion people viewed the India-Pakistan match, and the economic investment into South Australia from overseas and interstate can only be described as colossal. I've already touched on objectives 3 and 4, the success of the Big Bash and the performance of the Redbacks and the Scorpions. Objective 6 was to drive engagement with our SACA members and value add to SACA membership. 4 new member events were delivered, including Sunday session, members forum and some lunches with the President and CE. And also the implementation of the online Board of Management election process was also achieved. With respect to Objective 9, I'm particularly proud of the work that's being done in our Game Development Department. Our General Manager of Game Development, Shane Bernhard, and his team have done an amazing job. Objective 9 was to ensure sustainable participation growth with a focus on the player pathway from entry to first-class cricket and strengthening club, school and indoor competitions. I know when we started this program 3 years ago, we had a stretch goal of 100,000 participants. So to achieve participation of around 104,000 was simply amazing and outstanding, and a credit to Shane and his team for all the work that they did. I will leave the financials to our Chief Financial Officer, Andrew Sweet, for his presentation, but again, just to say, despite our challenges, SACA performed exceedingly well on the financial front. Cricket investment was just over $9 million for the year, and to achieve a net surplus of $4.35 million and operating cash flow of $7.37 million was a great result. So the challenges ahead. This is our 144th annual general meeting. We've come from this to this. And the reason that we can enjoy the benefits of being a SACA member at one of the most beautiful and iconic ovals in the world is because of the sweat, toil and efforts of the generations of administrators before us. These magnificent facilities have effectively been gifted to us. I therefore feel a great personal responsibility to leave a legacy for future generations, which is in fact leaving SACA better than it is even now. But whilst we enjoy these benefits, there are still many challenges ahead. We must secure premium content from Cricket Australia, a December Test match every year, Australia Day, and keep New Year's Eve for Strikers. We must also maintain and continually upgrade Adelaide Oval, and we must develop the game of cricket and achieve success at elite level. But having said that, we cannot rest on our laurels. This all comes at a cost, and from this year on, our cost base will increase by some $3 million plus. This is to pay for the maintenance of Adelaide Oval, to ensure that it remains world class, and also is a result of the way in which we will contribute for future premium cricket content. As good stewards, we will manage the SACA financial model to ensure its sustainability for future generations. However, some changes will need to occur. However, as the SACA president has said, to introduce a concept such as transferability to our membership would be, in my view, simply reckless and irresponsible. Let's not tiptoe around it. Reckless and irresponsible. This is why the MCG, the SCG, the Gabba, the WACA and Blunston Arena do not do it. It just simply does not make sense. So in closing, 2014-15 was without doubt one of SACA's most challenging, and once again I'd like to acknowledge the support of the magnificent SACA staff. I'm grateful to have such a passionate, united and talented team of employees. Throughout many long hours, hardships and times grief, the dedication of the association's staff, I can assure you, has been second to none. We welcome a new summer and, as always, with renewed optimism. Thank you again for coming tonight. There is much to look forward to in 2015-16 and we're excited to share these experiences with you, our members. Thank you.